What's up guys, it's Christian here and welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk to you guys about 5 signs that you might be depressed. So what I am talking about here, I know from personal experience. Through journaling and reflecting, came to find that I was only doing these things because I was depressed and trying to mask my pain and hide it and run away from it. And I'll also say that this is similar to how when I, in 2022, had a groin injury and I saw a physical therapist and he told me that I had the groin injury because my hips were weak and that caused weakness in the muscle tissue in my groin to the point where my groin got injured. And so just like how with many injuries in the body, the injury, the result of that is weakness or whatever in a different muscle part. And so similar to that, you may see these signs and it may look like a simple fix, but there's really something deeper. And so I have a video called What to Do If You Hate Your Life, which I'll link to in the description and put in the end card after the video is done. But let me give you 5 signs, and if you see these signs in you, it may be a sign to take action to help you get better. So we'll start off with number 1, which is that you're more easily irritated. If you find yourself getting irritated over the smallest things that don't go your way, or not laughing when someone tells you a funny joke, then it's a sign that something deeper is going on. And I also wrote in here, if you keep bottling up your pain, it can explode in you hurting someone else. And this has happened to me many times because I wasn't willing to get to the root of what the heck was going on with me. And if it does happen that you insult somebody or you lash out at somebody because you've been depressed and you haven't been dealing with things properly, and so it comes out that the pain that you're experiencing comes out into people around you, then I want you to journal about what happened. I want you to figure out what might be the underlying problem behind what happened, and then figure out how you need to solve it, and then you go apologize to that person. Because I've hurt people because of stuff that I was dealing with inside of me and problems that I had with me that came out to others, and it's a harsh reality to admit that to a bunch of people watching this video, but it's the truth. And I don't want that to happen to you guys, because it's a horrible feeling to know that you hurt somebody because you couldn't properly deal with stuff that you're going through. So and I also think to cap off this point, that anger towards others, I wrote this in my book, I also think that anger towards others is a go-to way to suppress our pain and compromise for hurt egos. Because it's I just insulted that person and I didn't feel bad at it at all. This means that I'm hard and that I'm not soft. That's a band-aid to a broken bone. That's exactly what I wrote. This is a surface level solution to a core level problem. So what I suggest you do in this situation is that you challenge yourself, that you put yourself through mental and physical discomfort and you overcome it. And then you will build your confidence and not have to, do these, stupid things that, stroke your ego, but still leave you with pain inside of you, if that makes sense. Number two is overeating or not eating enough. We overeat, at least I can say for myself, so I assume that it's this way for other people, is that I've overeaten because to try to feel comfortable when my overthinking and my life situation makes me uncomfortable. And I've also refrained from eating because I've had apathy, which is a lack of interest for anything. You don't care about life, you don't feel like doing anything, so you don't feel like eating. So overeating and not eating, those may seem okay, this is unusual. Like you may overeat and think, oh man, I'm so undisciplined, or you may not eat and think, wow, that's weird that I haven't eaten. But the core level problem is something deeper. And number 3 is staying up later than usual. I've done this many times, and it's so easy to decide that distracting ourselves and stimulation late at night is a good way to deal with our problems, because it's a form of escape. And number 4 is that you're not inspired about the future. You're supposed to feel hopeful and optimistic about the future. Like, if this is you, I want you to journal like right away. You have to be optimistic about your future, and you have to be motivated to, even if things don't look good right now, you have to be motivated about who you could be and what you could do, not just for yourself, but for the people around you. So I want you to write down what would need to happen. Before that, write down why you feel unmotivated or dreadful about the future, and be unfiltered with it. Don't hold anything back in this journal entry of why you feel unmotivated or dreadful towards the future. Then what I want you to do is write down what would need to happen for you to feel motivated and optimistic about the future. And then create an action plan to do what you need to do to feel motivated and optimistic towards the future, and do that. I think even if it's uncomfortable, if it's out of the realm of what you know, it's worth it, because it will reveal the best version of you, and it will reveal the best version in others, because you will be able to have a positive impact on others, because you've made a transformation in yourself to build your future. And finally, number 5, this is a huge one, is questioning the meaning of life and being curious about the concept of death. Like, someone's like actually suicidal if they're thinking about this kind of stuff. Like, if this is you, get help immediately. And if this is someone that you know, like literally on the spot, ask them if they're okay. Because, as I said, this is, really serious stuff. And it's also, like, honestly, like, don't be afraid to ask someone randomly if they're okay. Like, there was a time last year where I was dealing with a lot, and I, was in church, and the guy sitting next to me, a good friend of mine, he was like, "Hey bro, you good? You've been acting different." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." And then like later that night or the next day, I was like, "Yo bro," like a long text about what's been happening, and he was able to help me with that. So don't underestimate asking people if they're okay. If anything, you have to. And I want to ask you if you're okay. And if the answer is no, my Instagram DMs are open. I have 379 followers. I'm not at the point where I'm like ignoring anybody. So yeah. And as I said, the link is in the description and should be somewhere around here for the video that I've made that's called What to Do If You Hate Your Life. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I love y'all. I think y'all are amazing. I wish you well. Take care.